Cool. So, uh, what I want to do is to pretty much start documenting everything that happens on a daily basis, right? This does two things for me. Number one is that it ensures that um, I always it's accountability pretty much, right? Making sure that I work every day in the evening, right? So because I know that I'm gonna have to document what I did that evening, so this will promote that. So that's number one, accountability, and just ensuring that no matter how tired I am, I still get to do something, right? Number two is just to make sure that whoever is going to join Study Center in the future, right, has a way to know how things evolved, because there's so much that's happening, and some of these things are happening in the background, pipeline, plumbing functionalities that it's not necessarily clearly easy to see how something came about. You just sit there and you don't know how it really came about happening. So that's the two things that's going to do. Number one, accountability for me. Number two, to make sure that functionalities are documented as they evolve, right? So now, this actually that I'm going to be showing right now is something that I started working on Friday, which was the 22nd, right? 22nd of this month, April. I started working on this, and how it came about is that I'm just going to give you a little bit of background and history. This might be too technical. So what happened is that when I started working on this platform, you'll know that one of the core functionalities, the first functionalities that Study Center enables is the ability to upload any past paper that you might have, whether it's a question, it's an exam or semester test, class test, assessment, and also a study guide. This study guide allows so that you can then discuss topics for that module, right? So you know that when you upload these things, then you get rewarded in a form of points that can later on be redeemed using the available redeeming channels, right? So that's the first functionality. Number two, once these have been uploaded, they then get processed to the side and then they get published, right? And then the publishing process, we've already spoke about this in a different video. But then as a student, you can come here and then you can download this question paper, right? So when you download that, it's just going to go ahead and download. Let's give it a sec. I think I should add a loader here while this is downloading. It's just so that people don't think that maybe something happened and keeps yeah, I think I should actually add a loader here while this is downloading, or add a timer, because sometimes it's going to take time to process. As you can see, it's taking time now, and I'm going to explain why might happen. It's still waiting. There's a reason why this is happening, but I'll explain it. Okay, so I just actually want you to see the process of it downloading. So I don't want to pause the video. I can see the status here. It still says pending, but from a user experience, you might not see that. There we go. So it finished downloading this question paper. You can see that this question paper was an exam, November 2000, and you have that over here, November 2000, right? I mean October 2000. So that's the part of the metadata. This is not what this video is about. This is about what happened during this weekend and today. So, on Friday, which was the 22nd, I wanted to, so my to-do was something like this, right? My to-do was to publish requested QA content, right? I wanted to do that just to make sure that I publish all the content that has been requested, all the documents that have been requested. But after deploying to the live environment, to the hosting environment, I then realized one big issue, right? And that was what was happening was that, so initially when I started working on this, I was saving the files on the actual next to the code, so on the same directory as the code. And this was pretty much easy because I was initially hosting with Azure, right? So I knew that at some point I'm gonna have to move these from the source code directory to a cloud file management system. Azure had these things, I don't know if they still have them. It was called blobs. It was similar to, if you know Amazon, it was pretty much a bucket, right, whereby you can store files into it. So I was like, okay, once we start having a lot of traffic and a lot of data, I'm gonna move them to that blob, that bucket of Azure, right? But then due to costs and all of those things, I'll explain this another time, I then had to move from Azure to the current hosting provider that we're using, right, which is DigitalOcean. But now with DigitalOcean is not that straightforward when it comes to hosting, when it comes to deploying. You have to, I ended up getting to a point where I have to set up Docker, right? I'm not experienced that much into Docker. I just had to know as much as I could to get it running. And I did, right? So I got to a point where I got Docker up and running with the system, set up some pipeline so that it can deploy whenever I merge into master. That is working. Happy days on that case. But now, I don't know what is causing this behavior, right? But with each deployment, it seems as if files that were deployed, let's say yesterday, let's say maybe yesterday there were files that was uploaded, right? When I do a second redeployment into production, those files can no longer be accessible due to the file path and all of that. It's just one messy thing. So I was like, yo, you know what? I'm not about to spend time. This is all decisions that happen during the course of the weekend. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna spend time trying to figure out Docker and learn Docker. That's not where I am right now. I just want to get this thing up and running, right? Cool. So I then decided that, you know what? Cool beans. Let's figure out another bucket solution. But I'm gonna deviate a little bit. Side note: Study Center's architecture, tools, languages, and everything is centered around Google, and hopefully I'll get to explain the reason for this somewhere in the future. But there's a fundamental reason why I'm doing this, right? There's an intentional reason why I'm doing this. Everything is around Google. So with this approach, I could have easily went with Amazon, the S3 bucket. I'm fairly experienced with working with it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna have to learn the Google Cloud bucket. So I spent my Saturday doing that, learning that Google Cloud bucket up to a point where I got it working, right? So now I got to a point where I could upload as well as download, right, from that bucket or whatever buckets that I have. So right now I was just testing this. So over the weekend I spent time figuring how to upload and download. It was a little bit tricky, but I got to a point where it was working, right? So it's working. Happy days again. So now what I have to do, I just tested with this, whereby I can upload. You can upload from the web app, which is from here, right? You can upload, and then it goes into the bucket. So you see one of the buckets here. I won't go into that. I think there's still some sensitive information, so I'm not going to open this tab. But it goes into a bucket over here. It get uploaded into that bucket. Then from there, I can come this side, and I can download that requested study guide or whatever document is. And once it's downloaded, so it's just gonna take time to load, because as you can see, I'm currently in dev mode, so I'm running locally, right? So it might take time to load, but then I get to download it, which is this point here, download, then publish. Then you can then also download it from this should be download from the web app, which is the actual platform that is client facing. And I'm a little bit tired now. It's 11 o'clock. I thought I will be able to push till around 1 o'clock. I'm a little bit tired, and I want to wake up early in the morning so that I do other work not related to this. But the idea is I have to do this. Tomorrow is Tuesday. God willing, I should be able to finish all of this It's the same things, a little bit repetitive, but obviously different these cases. Do all of this over here, then I can get back to this here, which is publishing this content. But then I got held up with all of this engineering that had to be done, all of this dev work that had to be done. So yeah, that's how this weekend went, and this is pretty much the documentation of today's date, how the day went today and the weekend, because I didn't get to document any of the weekend things or any of the weekend work that was done over the weekend. But I think I'm just gonna go to sleep now. Maybe watch one episode of The Big Bang Theory or Friends. I think I should watch Friends. Yeah, I'm gonna watch one episode, then I'll go to sleep. Tomorrow in the evening, I will then work on this, right? I'll work on this tomorrow. I think from 8 to 12, or from 8 to 11. I should be done with this. Then Wednesday is a holiday. Then I'll work on this from morning, since it's a holiday. So when I wake up, I'll work on this. Then I should be done with this on Wednesday evening, or even in the afternoon. I should be done with this, right? So, oh shoot, I made a plan with Mosoto. So I got into an agreement with Mosoto, a friend of mine, again for accountability reasons. We're gonna be meeting weekly, having meetings weekly, and I'm gonna tell him what I did. It's like a sprint type of thing. I'm gonna tell him what I worked on that week, and I'm gonna show it to him. And then, so Mosoto makes music. You should check out his music. It's really dope music. Mosoto Music, that's his artist name, and he makes deep house music, right? Dope music. Linking you up, my boy. Mosoto Music. Come on, Spotify. It's taking time to load. I think my internet is quite a little bit bad. But yeah, he makes great music, man. You should check him out. Let's see if I can. I know I have his songs in this playlist over here. So let's just say Mosoto. There we go. So check out this dude over here. He makes great music, man. Check him out. But anyway, the reason why I was talking about Mosoto is that we agreed that, yeah, so you see, he just released a single. Great dude, great music. Check him out. He makes dope music. What I was saying is that Thursday I'm gonna have a meeting with him, and for this week I have to finish this function. So you see there's this function that's currently disabled here, asking a question, right? So I have to do that. So sure, I'm gonna have to replan this week. I think Wednesday I'm gonna have to work magic, finish uploading the content because I have most of this content, right? Finish uploading the content for BSc IT, informatics, computer science, and yeah, from when I'm done with that, I have to work on this so that I can have something to show Mosoto on Thursday during our Thursday evening session. But yeah, that's me. I'm starting to ramble now. From the project management side, I was just working on the story. Mostly done with it, mostly. So yeah. So that's it for today. Next documentation will be tomorrow. Habash. That's fine.